Folks, thanks to your support, this is a community that's always been strong. Over the next year, our job is not only to elect a pro-environmental governor, but to give him the tools he needs to really lead on things like climate change, clean energy, job creation, Puget Sound. I believe that in 2012, next year, we can elect and re-elect environmental champions to every statewide office in Washington. We have amazing members of our state legislature here, Republicans and Democrats, House and Senate, and leaders of both. We need to give you guys some help. We need to elect stronger environmental majorities in our state legislature as well. That's going to be a huge focus next year. So it's not just about growing stronger. We need to come together and rally and pull our collective voice as one like we never have before. That's what you've built Washington conservation voters. You have built us for times just like these. It's going to take courage, conviction, and leadership. On that note, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you my friend and Washington Conservation Voters State Board member, Nancy Ritzenthaler. Nancy.
Thanks, Brennan. Thank you so much for coming this morning. It's taking some courage for me to be in front of you all. My usual audience is smaller, about 9 years old, and they're usually asking me for money. My name is Nancy Ritzenthaler, and I'm on the board of Washington Conservation Voters. I grew up hiking and climbing in the Olympic Peninsula. When I was 10 years old and my sister was 6, we went on our first family backpacking trip up the Elwha River Trail. After dinner cooked over a campfire, a large bear ambled up and proceeded to rattle pots and pans all night long. My parents were in the one tent that they had brought, and my sister and I slept under an open plastic tarp. I'm not sure whether you're having your kids sleep outside with the bear as a sign of courage or not, but something about that trip was enjoyable because we continued to do many more family backpacks and hikes. After studying forestry in college, I got a job in the timber industry. In a cedar woolly sawmill, I set calculations and the saws to optimize the lumber output, supervised crusty lost sawmill workers, and pulled green chain whenever the lumber piled up. I've seen a lot of the beauty of Washington State. I've seen how our natural resources provide jobs for our citizens, an appealing lifestyle for our families, and help keep us healthy. It's why we live here. But let's not take for granted what we have. So I want to talk to you today about why it's critical right now to support environmental giving in general and Washington Conservation Voters specifically. And for those of you who are just meeting our executive director, Brennan Jahovic, oh my gosh, this guy finds time in between ultra marathons, I think he's running a marathon on Sunday, I hear, down in Portland, to attack his job with an energy and full plate of ideas that are truly amazing. And we're going to need every bit of help right now from all of us to energize the environmental community against the forces that are attacking us right now. Conserving what we have, especially when we don't know the future consequences, is the very definition of conservative. It's smart. Preserving the health of the natural environment is not fiscally wasteful. It's ignoring the consequences that's fiscally wasteful. Past generations helped shape and preserve the Washington we love today, and it was the people who voted and the politicians that they elected that made these changes. Lawmakers banned DDT in 1972, and now seeing a bald eagle fly around Puget Sound is commonplace. Voters agreed that special places in the state should be conserved, so politicians helped fund our state and county park system. Our elected officials had the foresight to protect a whole watershed, so today we all have some of the best drinking water in the country. As a mother of 3 young children, I think about the natural environment these kids will experience when they are adults. Will orcapods still swim in Puget Sound like they have for the last 10,000 years? Will the call of the wolves echo in the Columbia Highlands, where we have a chance to create the largest federal wilderness area in the state? Will an interconnected network of bike, greenways, and transit make it easier and faster to travel within our cities and finally get us out of cars. And on the Elwha River, will wild king salmon spawn again, perhaps to be eaten by the descendants of that same bear that we shared the campsite with? These are all experiences that will play out in my children's lifetime, just one generation. Electing courageous politicians will help put in place the right laws and incentives to create good endings for all of these scenarios. So there are a lot of great environmental causes out there, hundreds. A lot of my friends ask me, why invest money in politics? Well, when we consider our family's charitable giving, I want to invest my charitable dollars to maximize long-term impact. Influencing programs at the governmental level is one of the most impactful ways to make real change. It's in our best interest for Democrat and Republican legislators to work together to reduce sewer flows into Puget Sound, and to be one of the first states to enact meaningful climate legislation. Let's elect people who can work collaboratively and who can lead on these tough issues. I think one of the most efficient and effective ways to have influence is through Washington conservation voters. I'm investing both my time and my money in WCV because I believe that to support the environment, we have to have the right laws in place, and the right lawmakers, such as what we've seen Dave Upthegrove, Jay Inslee, Peter Goldmark, and others. If you care about the natural environment, you have to be involved in influencing political agendas. It's simply critical to the future of the planet. And the first step is to concentrate on our backyard. So I'd like to talk to you now about how you can help pass the right laws and elect the right lawmakers. But before we do, I'd like to ask each of you to take out your checkbooks and for the table captains to pass around the envelopes. So right now would be a good time. Thanks. So I'd like to share with you 3 ways to give to Washington conservation voters. WEC has a major giving circle called Earth Angels. If you make a gift of $1,000 or more, you will be bestowed the title of Earth Angels. My family gives at the Earth Angel level, and I know there are quite a few of us in the room. Will all Earth Angels please raise your hand? This is what you get also. Mary Ann Tagney-Jones made these, and she's always doing nice things for that group. For those of you who are on the fence about a gift at this level, please know that Earth Angels are essential to the strength of WCV, and the benefits are pretty cool too, including being a member of a community of interesting people who get together, share ideas, and quiz Brendan and Cliff. So I encourage all of you who can give at this level to do so today. Becoming a monthly member is the second way to give. It's easy, you don't have to think about it. The money gives the organization stability and the ability to take immediate action on critical issues. Whatever you can do, $50, $100, $10 a month, it's invaluable for WCV. Can all of our monthly members please raise your hands? Thank you. And while we're talking numbers, I'll point out that it takes just $83 a month to become a monthly member and an Earth Angel, so maybe you get double cookies in that case. Now, if being an Earth Angel or a monthly member is not an option, there's a third way to give. For every $150 gift that we receive today, we have a matching fund of up to $5,000 available, courtesy of Fred Meyer. So if you were thinking of giving $75, $100, $125, please consider stretching that gift today to $250, and that $150 donation becomes $300 for WCV. At this point, I hope that you are all ready to give at the level that pushes you a little out of your giving comfort zone. Think about maybe the amount that you were planning to give and add 60%. Why 60%? Well, that's the percentage that Jay Inslee needs to win Puget Sound by in order to win next November. Think about what it means for your family and for your community. to elect the right lawmakers who can pass the right laws that will protect Washington, the place we all call home. It takes courage to write a big check. It takes courage to be a green politician. But it's the right thing to do. I promise you, your investment in Washington conservation voters will yield the best return on the planet. Thanks for your time and for your generosity.